St Mary's have been great to me. They have really brought the expertise of every different division we have in our school to help me achieve my goal. With St Mary's University, anything is possible.
I'm Liz Newling-Ward and I'm the BSc Undergraduate Nutrition Programme Director. It's a health-based degree producing students accredited with the Association for Nutrition.
So here I am about to have my body fat measured with the bod pod. I think I generally eat quite well, but I tend to eat for very short bursts of activity. So I've never really eaten for long distance, long duration type sports. So I really have no idea what's going to happen.
This morning we looked at Phil's body composition using the air displacement plethysmographer, also known as the bod pod. This looks at whole body densitometry to determine his body composition, both his fat and fat-free mass. It's a safe and non-invasive system and has very good reliability. When measuring using the bod pod, we input certain data into it. We have to put in his information about his height, and then the bod pod has some scales attached to it which are previously calibrated. After that, Phil then sits in the bod pod and it takes two measurements. Unfortunately, this morning there was a slight discrepancy between the two measures. This might be because he wasn't breathing, if he wasn't relaxed enough, or if there was any slight movement between the two tests. So we took a third measure and then the test results were consistent. Following that, we got the printout of the results and it demonstrated that he had 9.5% of body fat and 91.5% of fat-free mass.
So coming out at 9.5% body fat is much lower than I thought it was going to be. I do like my food, so I did think it would be much higher. So I think it really highlights just how much I need to change when it comes to my nutritional plan, because I'm still so very much used to the old style of training that I've been doing. I need to eat for this new sport.
Here at St Mary's we've got a wide range of facilities, ranging from our nutrition suite with the kitchen facilities to different physiology laboratories and to a fully equipped biochemistry lab with genetics suite in there as well. So we've got a really wide range of highly technical laboratories and staff.
I'm Jill Horgan. I'm the Academic Director for the Health Programmes, but more specifically I'm actually a registered sports dietitian.
So here we are in the kitchen, and a few days ago I sent my food diary to the nutrition team. So hopefully that information, alongside the body fat measurements we've just taken, that should provide some recommendations to see where I'm going wrong.
So what we asked Phil to do was to do a food diary which would replicate what sort of things that he was eating. This was then analysed through using some of the computer software that we have, and the results were then given to Phil. So what I was going through with Phil on the computer was how much energy he had taken in the food diary that we'd analysed, and the different nutrients within that. What we found was that it was slightly imbalanced, and I think Phil was quite surprised at how much protein he was actually taking. Because unless you actually know quite a lot about food, it is quite difficult to understand where your nutrients are coming from. When we pointed out to Phil how much carbohydrate he needed and how much energy he needed and how much he needed to maybe change from protein to carbohydrate, he understood this concept, and so then we gave him an idea of what we meant by nutrients. We translated the science into practice. What food to take with him? What food that he ought to be eating up the mountain? That was portable, that was tasty, but did the right thing, gave him the right nutrients for his body. So it's all about examining what Phil was doing, looking at the data, analysing that data, translating it into foods, and giving him practical advice that he can use.
So that was interesting. I knew my protein intake would be high, but I didn't realise it would be that high, and I didn't realise it would be at the expense of all the other nutrients that I need. However, in the good news, I get to eat more malt loaf. My favourite.
So if Phil doesn't increase his body fat, he may well find that his energy reserves are very low. If his reserves are low from both the body fat that will be used as an energy source and the diet that he's eating, if they are not sufficient, he actually will not be able to perform, i.e. climb the mountain. Either it'll take him too long and therefore he'll fatigue, or he won't be able to complete it at all.